Final inspection. The deputy stood and faced his God, which for all must come to pass. He hoped his shoes were shining just as brightly as his brass. Step forward now, deputy. How shall I deal with you? Have you always turned the other cheek? To my church have you been true? The deputy squared his shoulders and sighed, No, Lord, I'll be straight. Those of us who carry a badge can't always be a saint. I've had to work most Sundays, and I'm sorry I've kept silent. And sometimes I've been a little tough because the streets are awfully violent. I never took a penny that wasn't mine to keep and tried to keep my ethics clean walking the sewers of the street. I never passed a cry for help just because I shook with fear. And please, God forgive me, I've wept so many tears. I know I don't deserve a place among the people here. They never wanted me around before except to calm their fears. If you've a place for me, Lord, it needn't be so grand. I never expected or had too much, but if you don't, I'll understand. There was a silence all around the throne where the saints had often trod. The deputy waited quietly for the judgment of his God. Step forward now, deputy. You've borne your burdens well. Come walk a beat on heaven's streets. You've done your time in hell.
Thank you. It's an honor to represent the Board of County Commissioners as we read the proclamation passed by the board just a week or so ago. Whereas on May 6th, the Clay County Board of County Commissioners would like to recognize the 2021 Police Memorial Week ceremony held each year to remember the sheriffs and deputies who lost their lives in the line of duty serving the citizens of Clay County. And whereas it's important that all of our citizens know and understand the responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices made daily by our local law enforcement professionals, and that we honor those who protect our communities, enforce our laws, and keep the peace. And whereas law enforcement officers represent an outward symbol of characteristics like honor, integrity, and courage, which help form the foundation of this great nation and this county, and they serve as role models to our children, mentors to our teens, and protectors to those who are most vulnerable. And whereas during uncertain times, our local law enforcement officers with Clay County Sheriff's Office bravely faced challenges and never wavered in times of crisis or tragedy, standing steadfast to ensure the safety of all Clay County residents and visitors. And whereas on this day we remember the 10 men who made the ultimate sacrifice and gave their lives to ensure our peace and safety, and those 18 Florida law enforcement officers who lost their lives from COVID-19. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners, Clay County, Florida, does hereby proclaim May 6, 2021 as Police Memorial Day in Clay County, and May 2nd through the 8th as Law Enforcement Appreciation Week in Clay County, and encourages all citizens to recognize the sacrifices of our local law enforcement professionals and their families as they fulfill their solemn oath to protect and serve our community. Duly adopted by the Board of County Commissioners, Clay County, Florida, this 27th day of April 2021, signed by all 5 commissioners and attested to by Tara S. Green, our Clerk of Court and Comptroller and ex officio Clerk of the Board. And it is my privilege to be able to present this now to Sheriff Cook. Sheriff?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. We appreciate it.
It is my honor to be here on behalf of the citizens of Green Cove Springs to present to the officers that serve our county and our city with this proclamation. Whereas in 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day and the calendar week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week. And whereas the dedicated members of the Green Cove Springs Police Department and the Clay County Sheriff's Department work devotedly and selflessly on behalf of the citizens of the city of Green Cove Springs, regardless of the peril or hazard to themselves. And whereas the members of our police department play an important role in protecting the rights and freedoms of the citizens of our community. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties and responsibilities of their police departments, and that members of our police department recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, defending them against violence or disorder, and guarding the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. And whereas our police department has grown to be a modern and well-respected law enforcement agency which unceasingly provides a public service, and whereas the United States flags should be flown at half-staff on May 15th for Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of the fallen officers and their families. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the City Council of Green Cove Springs, Florida, hereby proclaims May 9th through 15th, 2021 as National Police Week in the City of Green Cove Springs, and publicly salutes the service of law enforcement officers in our community and the communities across the nation. Done and proclaimed by the City Council of Green Cove Springs, Florida, in regular session this 4th day of May, 2021. Van Royal, Mayor. Aaron West, City Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank
We
you very
appreciate
much,
it.
Sheriff.
Yes, sir.
To the family of the fallen, to our distinguished sheriff, and to all of you in your respective places, may God continue to lead us, guide us, and protect us. Amen.